First of all, guys, amazing show. I watched it all yesterday, and I want to watch it again. I want to share a shared experience because this is a topic that really touches pretty much everybody. But this was taken from Epic Magazine. How did you guys filter in which stories you guys were going to use?
Well, when Lee first suggested doing a show about immigrants and collecting a bunch of true stories to fill it out, I'm a journalist and I went and sent all my writers around the country to find stories. And then I was just sharing them with Lee and then also with Alan and Kumail and Emily when they joined the show. And we were looking at them as they were coming in and figuring out which ones would sort of, represent all different parts of the world and people living in different parts of the country. So, because we wanted it to sort of have a wide range. And so we were all looking at them together. And once we saw them, we realized like, oh my God, the show is like right here. It's in the characters that are just like jumping off the page.
Yeah, we wanted a variety, right?
Sure.
And so it's a show about people. It's about characters. It's about human beings. And so we wanted to get that essence of all these characters, but also have diverse countries of origins and diverse places where they landed. So, you see a lot of stories that take place in New York and LA, but we want to do stories, in Boise or in Oklahoma, and that really helped enhance and broaden the scope of the show as well.
Now, this is an anthology, really, of storytelling. Now, how far ahead of you guys are in the process? You guys got already renewed for season 2, even before I believe season 1 debuted. So, how far ahead of you guys?
Even before Apple TV Plus originated.
Right. Before there was even streaming.
Before Apple was founded.
How do you guys? How far ahead of you guys are with the story for season 2? Stories, I really should say.
I mean, we're collecting stories. We're in the writers' room. I'll be back there tomorrow morning in LA, which is a great flight.
Early morning flight.
Just
get in there, write some comedy.
We're talking about them already. Epic's coming out with a book in a month, and so throughout this process, we've just been collecting stories more and more. We talked about a story about Alan's mom. My dad's Israeli. We talked about his story. An Uber driver that I had 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the book. I just talk to people and say, hey, I'm doing a show about immigrants.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that story is in the book, and that might be an episode in season 2. We're talking about an episode that takes place in the 1830s, going a little farther back. Yeah.
Can you guys talk to me about the methodology of pairing your writers and directors and how they connect with the material?
Yeah, I mean, as much as possible in season 1, we tried to have someone who had access to the country of origin. So whether it's the director or the writer, and I think that added a level of authenticity and texture. I think with a show like this, where there isn't like the president's daughter's being kidnapped in every episode,
Sure.
You're kind of you need to invest in the character, you need to invest in the world. So much of it is the production design, the props, the locations, and I think when somebody has an access point to that, they can kind of say, oh, the table would look like this, or, my family, we always had, Persian families, they always have pistachios on the table. Sure. And it's like, okay, I wrote that episode, and I think I did a lot of research. I didn't know about the pistachios, and those types of things, it sounds silly, but as you add 20 of those things to an episode, it just gives it that layer of authenticity where the Persian community, when they watch that episode, will say like, oh, that's exactly what my family's like.
Now, I think this show's coming at the perfect time. 2020 is an election year, but this show really has something for everybody. Can you guys talk to me about maybe somebody that immigration's at the forefront of the political issue, but also a huge part of this show. Can you guys talk to me about somebody that may not want to give this show a chance? What would you tell them?
You're making a huge mistake.
Well, we don't want the show to be, we talked about it yesterday. We don't want the show to be something like a broccoli show or like a salad show, It's like, the show's a sandwich. Like, it's a delicious sandwich.
Show's really unhealthy.
It is really, but it's
delicious.
It's pleasurable, right? We want it to be fun to consume and fun to, so we want it to be entertaining first and foremost and have these stories be compelling and rich and funny and heartfelt and emotional and romantic. So it's not, forget the politics of it, forget that even if it's a show about immigrants, to me, it's just 8 portraits, 8 snapshots of 8 interesting people. And the fact that they're inspired by real people, I think, is another bonus that's really, at the end of every episode, you kind of go to a picture of the actual person. And in some cases, it's, it's just an interesting kind of twist on the whole thing. And that's really, really, really important for us, too.